Victory Monday. Let's go. Super excited for this week of content. It's going to be a lot of fun. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. We have a lot to break down in regards to the win the 49ers had against the Jags. We're also going to have a lot to talk about eventually about how the 49ers will square off against the Vikings in a matchup that will have seemingly quite a few playoff implications. So the playoff conversation is back, guys. It's absolutely beautiful. 2 short weeks removed from Fire Everyone and their entire families. It's glad to see that we are back on track. And this has been something that we've talked about at length with this channel. We have talked at length about the pitfalls of this season, the back and forth, but the best thing right now is that this team is back on track. And we can say that with our chest, guys. Guys, we can say that with our chest. The 49ers are back on track. And, can't say nothing to me. Can't say nothing to me. 49ers are back on track, baby. So, you know the vibes. What's good, everybody? We see the squad per usual. Coach, Sean. What's good, everybody? Oh, we got Kimbo, 49er fan for life. You know the vibes. Yes, sir. Coach in the house. What's up? Jesus. Coming soon. Definitely got to get that going. But what I'm really excited about, guys, of course, is the fact that we're back on track. And we'll get into all of it. We'll get into all of it, and we'll talk about why we're back on track, how we got back on track. But let's visually look how we are back on track, right? Shall we? Shall we do that? Let's use our eyeballs first. We'll pull up the graphic and we'll get it going because we're there. We are there. We are there. I see a question on Twitch. How is Jalen Moore? We will absolutely talk about Jalen Moore. We're definitely going to be talking about Jalen Moore, and we're definitely going to be doing some film study on Jalen Moore because Jalen Moore actually got benched. He started against the Jags, and he found himself watching from the sideline after a while. So we'll get into that. Trust me, we'll get into that, and we'll also have film to support it. But let's just look from a global perspective about how the 49ers are back on track and how they are legitimately in the playoff conversation. At 5-5, the 49ers are on the cusp. You can see right here, they are on the bubble with teams like the Eagles, the Carolina Panthers, Washington, Falcons, New York Giants, Bears, Seahawks. Let's be honest, guys. Those teams, they're not the greatest. They're not playing well, and they also don't look like they're built to go far. So right now, it really does feel like this team is taking so much positive momentum forward now that they're 5-5, third in the NFC West, right? Saints lost. Did they? Right? They lost to the Eagles, from my understanding. Jameis Winston ain't coming through that door anymore. Now, they just gave Taysom Hill a massive contract extension, from my understanding. I believe their second one. I don't know what is going on with that. But Taysom Hill ain't leading them to the promised land. You got the Vikings, who are the 49ers opponents next week. They are now sitting 6th in the playoff seeding if the playoffs were to end today. If they were to end today, oh, my guy. Poor look at Don Burr down here. Let's all just show some love for Don. Good to see you, Don. Hope you're doing well. I know your team isn't doing well, but hopefully you're doing well. At least you got a tie in there. Hopefully we get I want to see the Lions get a W. I hope that occurs. I really do. I hope the Lions get a win. They deserve it. Just for Don Burr's sake only. For Don Burr's sake only. But anyways, the 49ers have a big matchup against them. Obviously, you see you sitting at the 5 seed. We handled them pretty well. And we were 37 seconds away from beating the 2 seed. We all know what happened with Colt McCoy. But Trey Lance almost took down Kyler Murray, J.J. Watt, and the Arizona Cardinals at their home in his first ever start. So if we take a giant global step back, the 49ers are squarely in the conversation. We are there. We are in the playoff hunt. We are hunting now. Before, it was bleak. It was scary. It was unknown. There were legitimate conversations about front office changes, all kinds of stuff. Lots of ugly stuff out there for a big portion of this year. But it kind of feels like right now, the season is finally starting. It feels like that was just an extendedly long, very difficult preseason, right? And right now, the 49ers' real season is beginning. And I don't mind starting out being the underdog. I don't. I do not mind starting out being on the bubble. I do not mind starting out being 5-5. I don't. I actually think our team thrives on it. In fact, I know they thrive off it. They always have thrived off of it. Go back to 2019. A lot of the same core that is here. That whole pretenders movement, they thrived off of it. And so now what we're starting to see is everything come together. And as a result, it's coming together at the perfect time. So the 49ers have an opportunity in front of them to go up against a team next week that they will be fighting for seeding in the playoffs. So we love it. This is where we thrive. This is fun stuff. Now it feels like the season is starting. Now it feels like we're ready to go. And the team is finally performing in the same direction as a result. So we're going to keep looking at this throughout the year. We're going to keep shout out my guy, Jordan Elliott, for putting me on to this graphic. We're going to be coming back to it. We're going to look at it quite a bit because we're in it. We're in it, fam. We're in it to win it. And I'm super, super excited. But let's now take a turn. Oh, yeah. We love it. I personally love being the underdog. I know a lot. I know Jimmy Garoppolo. One of my favorite quotes from Jimmy Garoppolo was about how he relishes being the underdog, which speaks a lot to how Jimmy Garoppolo has been performing as of late, because Jimmy Garoppolo has been the ultimate underdog, not only in the NFL standards, but on his own team amongst his own fan base. Jimmy Garoppolo, guys, has been having a stretch. He has been having a stretch now from weeks 1 through 7. A lot of the fan base wanted to toss Jimmy out the door. At one point, I was right there with them. I was ready to be like, what are we doing here? Because weeks 1 through 7, Jimmy Garoppolo had a 56.8 passer rating. That would have been tied for 28 out of 32 quarterbacks. That's not good. That's really bad. It's really, really bad. It wasn't great. It wasn't fantastic. However, week 8 through 11, that underdog mentality kicked into full gear. And even though they went 2-3 over that span, Jimmy Garoppolo isn't the reason why this team has not. He wasn't the reason they didn't win against the Cardinals. Over that span of weeks 8 through 11, Jimmy Garoppolo is the highest graded quarterback from PFF. Shout out Jeff Deeney and I apologize. It was a grade before, not passer rating. So it's 56.8 grade weeks 1 through 7 would have been tied for 28th out of 32 possible quarterbacks. Weeks 8 through 11, he is first with the 85.7 grade. So Jimmy Garoppolo is doing what he needs to do. Again, taking that underdog mentality. Again, his coach drafted the future, put him right there behind him, and he has been able to withstand and battle. Because I think when we go back, and we've talked about it a lot, when we look at some of the issues that the 49ers have had this year, I think a lot of it comes back to the locker room. It comes back to the kind of disjointed nature of the energy based on the offseason. But I think they finally moved past that, and we're starting to see them, because I think at the end of the day, they realized, man, it doesn't matter what happened in this off season, because if we don't get our stuff together, no one's going to be back next year. We're all going to be fighting for a job. We're all going to be looking, from the outside trying to get back in. So I really feel like there's something that clicked inside that locker room. All the leaders have really stepped up. And Jimmy Garoppolo is one of those guys who continue to just be phenomenal, because over the last 4 weeks, he also leads the NFL in passer rating at 113.2 and yards per attempt at 9.2. So Jimmy Garoppolo is doing all right. And I'll take this all day. I wrote this on Instagram. I really don't care. At the end of the day, I really don't care. Sorry, squirrel. We have division news, guys. Big news. Not really. Arizona is signing quarterback Trace McSorley off the Ravens practice squad. So now Trace McSorley is one of the newer NFC West quarterbacks. Not crazy news, but it just came through. So there's that. But this team is really taking strides forward. Another person who's taking strides forward, I think, is Brandon Ayuk. I think he falls in line with the same type of mentality, the same type of. You notice Brandon Ayuk is coming on at the same time Jimmy's coming on, as some of the other, team members are coming on. You're starting to see a lot of these players start to elevate their game, and it's kind of happening at the same time. And I don't think that's a coincidence. I really don't think that's a coincidence. So, I mean, Brandon Ayuk himself is on a little tear. So Brandon Ayuk over the last 4 games has 20 receptions, 245 yards, and 2 touchdowns. If he were to do that over a 17-game stretch, that's 85 receptions, 1,042 yards, and 8 touchdowns. Shout out my guy, Leo Luna, from 49ers Goldmine, for pulling that stat. Again, just indicating how everyone is starting to ramp up. Everyone is kind of taking those steps forward. Now, guys like Deebo Samuel, we get it. Deebo Samuel is having an MVP caliber year. He's playing at an extremely high level. Not only is he playing extremely high level as a wide receiver, but he's also playing at an extremely high level as a running back. It's wild. It's absolutely wild. Deebo is shout out Jeff Deeney for this stat. Deebo Samuel's averaging 18 yards per reception this season, but he's also averaging 7.2 yards per rush. That's fire. That's hot fire. Oh, we need a discount. I got you. Where'd you get the hat? Perfect time for a break, right? Perfect time for a break. While we do our residency plug, smash that like button. You know the vibes. You know the dang vibes. While we're doing our residency plug, smash that like button. Support the squad. So if you want the hat, very simple, very effective. You go to residency.com, use the promo code, the SF Niners, get you a discount on your hat, also get you expedited shipping. so that you can get your hat quickly at no additional cost. So get those residency hats. We got them all. They're all back here. They're all lined up. We got them all. So you want the hat, go grab it. I think some are out of stock at this point. I don't have the exact stock count right now, but they're releasing new stuff all day, every day. So keep your eyes peeled for new residency drops. We got some stuff coming that we're in the works on. Um, oh, I have another product that we're gonna be talking about soon, but I'll save that when it's ready. Let's go. Ooh, Josh got the tan and the all black. Let's go. That one's fire. So quickly as we get back into our football discussion, and of course after you guys have liked the video, what do we think about Deebo Samuel? What's up, stepson? Good to see you, my guy. Venturing over here into YouTube land, my boy. Ooh, coach with some spice. Coach says Deebo is taking over the role of Mostert. He's thinning out the box and keeping defenses honest. 100%. I think that's a great take. Also, too, some of the vision ability that Mostert is providing is something that we've kind of been lacking at this point. So I like this take. I like the attachment of basically understanding what Mostert's role was, and two, how we're seeing that get pieced together. Because Jeff Wilson is great. Jeff Wilson is phenomenal, in my opinion, but he's phenomenal in between the tackles. Like, we've seen Jeff Wilson bust it before, and that didn't happen this game. But still, regardless, we saw Jeff Wilson running hard, being able to make a lot of stuff happen out of nothing. So that's what Jeff Wilson's really good at. But what Mostert brought to the table was that home run ability, that one cut and just burst and go. And that's what Deebo Samuel is bringing to the table. So shout out, coach, for that connection, because I agree. I think that's a really good point. I think the 49ers have missed so much from Raheem Mostert. Now, I was, one of Raheem Mostert's biggest cheerleaders for many reasons. But from a football standpoint, this was one of the main reasons why I championed Raheem Mostert, because of his ability, his home run threat, his ability to gear up and down in the hole and then punch it and go once he read or set up his blocks. It's an art form that comes along with running. And we have missed that. I've talked about it on this channel at length. Although we have seen good production out of both of our rookies, Elijah Mitchell, Trey Sermon, they don't run like 6-year NFL backs, 4-year NFL backs. There's a difference, because they have an ability to set up, read lanes, and hit them with the specific timing that makes everything work. So they've been successful in spite of not having it, but they could get even more successful. And I think we're starting to see a little bit what that looks like when you plug in a guy like Deebo Samuel into that role and see what he's capable of. And again, that's kind of what we talked about with what we envision the running back room to be. No one looked at Raheem Mostert as someone who's going to carry the ball 20, 25, 30 times a game, did we? No. We looked at him as the change of speed, the first down back, going out there, setting the tone, getting chunk yardage, coming back to him, then have a rotation. We always knew it was going to be a RBBC, running back by committee. We knew that, but it was so crucial having the lead piece be Raheem Mostert, because he gets linebackers and safeties sucking up to the line of scrimmage. He gets guys flowing real hard sideline to sideline, because you have to account for his speed. And when you have cutbacks off that, and then you start rotating backs, and they have to start, maneuvering through different traits of running backs, that's when you can really start messing with opposing defenses. So losing Raheem Mostert has been something that the offense has been struggling with for the entire year, even with Elijah Mitchell playing really well. They have missed it. And I really like that point by Coach again, making that kind of connection and correlation that Deebo is kind of taking over the Raheem Mostert role. Now, he might not be coming out first. He might be used in more specific situations because, he's still used as a wide receiver. But I like that. I absolutely like that. Deebo, though, he's playing at a level and we talked about this on the pre-show before the game. We said if we see more Deebo Samuel employed out of the running back, we're ready to talk about MVP Deebo. We're ready to talk about MVP Deebo. And so let's talk about MVP Deebo for a little bit, because Deebo's playing at one of the highest levels I've seen in some time. Deebo, we knew what Deebo was. Obviously, we scouted Deebo heavily. Deebo was my favorite wide receiver of that particular draft class. Him and N'Keal Harry were right there with each other, in my opinion, as the top two. A.J. Brown was my third. Terry McLaurin, I believe, was my fourth. That wide receiver class was stacked. I think you had Chase Clayton. No, Chase Claypool came out the year after. But that wide receiver class was stacked. One of the reasons why I indicated Deebo Samuel as being a fit for the 49ers was for these reasons: the yards after catch, the yards after contact, his ability to work in short to intermediate spaces. Because let's face it, this offense is not a deep penetrating offense. We don't go deep too often. We take shots, but a lot of that is to keep defenses honest and things like that. We're not a big drop back passing team, or historically have not been. So a guy like Deebo Samuel fit for a lot of reasons. Again, we saw all that he did in 2019 with the end around stuff and how successful he was with that. But guess what? Teams have caught up. And they've copied. So this is the next wrinkle. This is kind of the next evolution of Deebo and his role of being a gadget guy who can do literally anything. I remember vividly putting out a tweet that Deebo Samuel was going to go to the Pro Bowl off the slant route alone, because that was the type of receiver he was. He can make anyone miss. He's physical enough to fight through any type of press man. So I just figured, dude, you get the ball to Deebo any way you can. You get it to him in a slant, he's going to take it 75, 80 yards and just break tackles. Deebo continues his ascension. He's having a phenomenal year, guys. He's having a really good year. Obviously he's not gonna be looked at nationally as your prototypical wide receiver one, your Justin Jeffersons, like your CeeDee Lambs coming up, because they're the big body and the statuesque physicality. But he's doing it, and he's doing it in different ways, and it's really impressive. So I think Deebo Samuel should be talked about. Now, we know it's a quarterback award, and we know, might not happen. You're probably not going to get it. But it's worth the conversation, because, through 10 games to go 55 receptions for 994 yards and 5 touchdowns amongst the offensive turmoil that this offense has gone through, Deebo Samuel is the only one to really kind of emerge throughout the fire all year. Remember, we've talked about at length about how much this offense has struggled this year. I've watched tape after, play after play after play. We've watched play after play together, trying to understand why these things aren't working. But Deebo Samuel is one of the only guys that has been able to rise above it all. So I think Deebo's playing at an insane level. So we'll see how that continues to progress. He's been able to stay healthy, knock on wood. And if he continues to stay healthy, he's playing at a historic pace. So the hope is that the 49ers can continue to build everything else around him so that Deebo can be even more successful. And I think that's one of the most exciting things about, seeing Brandon Ayuk on the field with Deebo Samuel and George Kittle. Those three players accounted for 47% of the 49ers total offensive yards. They accounted for 47% of the offense's total yards against the Jags. Those three guys, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk. That's how we all have envisioned this going. As 49er fans, when we see those three weapons, that's how we've always, at least how I've always envisioned it. Like, I want to see those three guys absolutely accounting for 50% of the production of the offense, game in and game out, because those guys are talented. So what do you do with talent? You give them the football and watch them work. So I'm really excited that all three of those guys got touchdowns yesterday. That makes me happy. We called them the Yak Bros. What was it, last year? Because, I mean, let's face it, they barely played together. It's either George was hurt or Deebo was hurt or they were both hurt. Or Brandon Ayuk was dealing with, whatever situations he was dealing with. He didn't play. He only played 12 games. So we haven't seen this group. We haven't seen Deebo, Kittle, and Ayuk in succession together for an extended period of time. Something to think about. They still have room to grow. Kyle still has a rhythm to find. And so I'm excited to see what comes of that, because, again, now you see them using Brandon Ayuk out of the backfield as a runner. We already know George Kittle lines up anywhere and everywhere, so it really doesn't matter. And then the emergence of Brandon Ayuk. One of the things that I love about Brandon Ayuk's emergence is that Jimmy's targeting him. He wasn't targeting him earlier this year. Jimmy is now targeting him. So that's really, really exciting. So the offense is plowing so far. I mean, you guys know how I feel. You guys know I want to see the ball run. I want to see it run with consistency. Oh, there you go. Exactly. Mitchell and Wilson get the other 50%. Give 50% of the production to Deebo, Kittle, and Ayuk. Give the other 50% to Mitchell and Wilson. Hell, sprinkle in a little Trey Sermon in there. I could deal with that. For sure. And I really think the Mitchell, Wilson / Deebo running back room, hell, even Trey Sermon if you need it. So Trey Sermon's good at breaking tackles. Like, Trey Sermon has traits that we can use now, even though, he still has some room for growth. We could still use Trey Sermon in a way, but we'll see what happens. And of course, sprinkle juice in the mix. Juice doesn't get enough credit for his pass blocking. Juice does not. There's a reason why Juice is typically seen in that kind of third down role, because he's a pass blocker. He knows how to be an extension of the offensive line, and it's absolutely beautiful to watch. He's not going to get credit for it. Only real, like, I don't want to say it like that, but like, only like offensive nerds will be like, look at a guy and how he steps up into the A gap to pick up a blitzing middle linebacker while the entire offensive line vacates away from him, because you got the right side sliding to the left. You got guys, your left tackle and left guard manned up. And so they just, the middle of the offensive line opens and a middle linebacker is running free up the middle. And we don't celebrate it enough because it's just like, oh, he blocked him. It is what it is. The importance of blitz pickup to an offense is exponential, is absolutely exponential. To have a fullback, to have a guy like Juszczyk who can come in that role, he could still run it if he need to. He can still catch it. We know Juszczyk is a phenomenal athlete. So not only that, but the fact that he can be an aid in the blocking game and be really, really, really good at it. I love it. Every time they do a blitz pickup, and you see all the movement and you see how everyone mans up on someone, and then you get Kyle Juszczyk stepping up into the A gap, taking a linebacker head on and allowing Jimmy the time to throw the ball. That's magic. I love blitz pickup. Blitz pickup is hard. There's a reason why when I was playing, we spent an entire period every single practice working on blitz pickup. It all comes down to communication, and it all comes down to execution, clearly. But we did start to see some of the communication breakdowns on the offensive line, partly due to the right side. Big time due to the right side. Absolutely, we talked about this on this channel. Jalen Moore moving to the right side, we would have to have an asterisk next to his name because he is a left tackle who is just now transferring to the right side. And we always try to explain and put an emphasis that moving side to side, moving from tackle to guard or guard to center or vice versa, they are individual positions for a reason. And it is just not as simple as just shifting and moving, and it's just fine. It's just fine. So with Jalen Moore, this is shout out Jason Aponte. He'll be on with me on Wednesday. He got the snap counts of the right tackles again in this game. Jalen Moore had 45 snaps, so Jalen Moore played 65% of the snaps. Tom Compton played 33 snaps, which was 48%. Added another 6 on special teams. Shout out to Ponte for that snap. But unfortunately, Jalen Moore did appear to get benched. So what we've talked about is that being a potential outcome because he is in a position that isn't his comfort zone. He is not in a spot where, he wasn't a left tackle in college. I'm sorry, he wasn't a right tackle in college. He was a left tackle. And I guarantee you those types of left tackles, they're left tackles their entire life. They're never going to play the right side, ever. From Pee-wee on, they're left side, strong side. They put them at the left tackle because of the best offensive linemen in their school, and that's how it works. So the fact that he had to switch over to the right and we aren't seeing kind of that same level of success, it makes a lot of sense. But we're going to get into the tape. We'll do a trench breakdown tomorrow. Trench Tuesday's coming. So we'll look at Jalen Moore. We'll look at Tom Compton. I know from watching the game back yesterday, there were multiple occasions where there were miscommunications occurring on the right side. And again, you guys know me. I'm a McGlinchey truther. I'm a Brunskill truther. And I talk about ad nauseum about how well those two work together, how in tandem they were, and how you need that. You need that because of some of the same concept we were talking about earlier. Blitz pickup. Blitz pickup is communication. It's knowing that you know your responsibility and the guy next to you knows his, and that you can blindly let someone go knowing that your guy next to you knows that he's going to pick that up. And that only comes from reps and doing it over and over again. One of my favorite things about Daniel Brunskill and Mike McGlinchey was their level of communication. After every single play, those two found each other, turned to each other, and talked about what just happened. That is invaluable because now you are in a situation where you have a guy playing next to Daniel Brunskill that Brunskill never played next to all of training camp, all of this year. So they're learning on the fly. They're learning on the fly, and you're seeing miscues happen as a result. You're seeing them miss stunts and passing them off, something Brunskill and McGlinchey did not miss on this year. Like I'm talking about, I watched every snap of those two. They did not miss on one stunt. We highlighted that a couple weeks ago, but since McGlinchey's been out, they have missed multiple stunts on the right side. And I said 100% there is no coincidence that if they start missing stunts on the right side now, you know why. It's because of the lack of continuity. And so that is going to come with the territory. And we're seeing it. And so we have to be able to understand that. Offenses have to understand that. The coaches have to understand that. I think we're seeing some of the passing games modified a little bit. We're seeing shorter passes. We're seeing, and I talk about this all the time on this account. The average time to throw in the NFL is 2.5 seconds. 2.5 seconds. That's it. I think the average kind of fan doesn't realize how quickly and how little window of time like coaches go into and like, listen, you only have 2.5 seconds to throw. Offensive linemen know this. That's why offensive linemen block for very specific portions of time. It's a 2 count on screens. On a 5-step drop, it's potentially a 2 to 3 count. On a 3-step drop, it's essentially a 1 count. On a 7-step drop, you got to hold. You got to hold on, because that quarterback's going to hold the ball, and you have to keep your guy in front of you. So offensive lineman is working. They're working off timing. They're working off specific timing based on certain plays. So all that matters and needs to be taken into account. So we'll see. It's gonna be but Jimmy has done a really good job. I think he's throwing right now as arguably one of the quickest releases in the NFL. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure Jimmy Garoppolo is getting the ball out of his hands at about 2.3 seconds. So getting the ball out of your hand at 2.3 seconds contributes to having a successful offensive line and pass blocking. It's much easier to block for 2.3 seconds than it is to block for 2.7 to 3 seconds. So it all has a relation to one another. But I hope to see more of this quick passing game, more of this quick concepts, because we're hindered on the right side. We are hindered without having McGlinchey. Now, again, if you poll Twitter, all of Twitter wanted Jalen Moore to start at right tackle over Mike McGlinchey. But unfortunately, right now, Jalen Moore can't even play an entire game. But we knew that was coming. We knew that was coming, and we know there's growing pains. So we're going to continue to watch and see how that plays out. But hopefully it gets a little bit ironed out on that right side. Absolutely going to have to be something that we continue to monitor. Something that we're going to have to continue to monitor. So we'll see. So we'll see what happens. But other than that, the offensive line play has been great. Laken Tomlinson, I don't think, has allowed a pressure in a couple games. Trent Williams continues to be otherworldly. Trent Williams almost had the touchdown pass. I mean, guys, we have to come back to that play, or we have to come back to a variation of it. I want to see Trent Williams get a touchdown. We need that for the Sourdough Squad. The Sourdough Squad needs a Trent Williams touchdown. We really do. I do. I need it for my soul. I need it for my heart. I don't know this off the top of my head. I just know we're right there. I know we're right in the middle of it. I don't know what the number is to be at. It's probably going to be a while because there's still a lot of movement The NFL right now is wide open. There's a lot of parity. There's a lot of parity. You look at the Arizona Cardinals leading our division at 9-2. I mean, they've been able to get by with their star players getting out or being hurt. We'll see how long that can last. We'll see how long that can last. But I don't know the exact number that it would be. Like, for example, the sixth seed in the NFC has the same record as us. So we'll see. Oh yeah, we mean Air Williams. Would have loved to see. Would have loved to see that play occur. That would have been for the culture, for the brand. It would have been so good. I would have had so much fun breaking that down. I really would have. But the offensive line, at least on the left side, Trent Williams, Laken Tomlinson, Alex Mack, Daniel Brunskill, they've been doing their jobs all year. Their level of play, honestly, has been pretty consistent. We clearly got the big step up from Brunskill against the Rams, but for the most part, they've been playing this same exact way for the majority of the year. What hasn't been working is everything else: quarterback, running back, tight ends, wide receivers. It's been harder from a philosophical standpoint of this offense to get going. What exact reason that is, we can debate till the end of time. The fact of the matter is that everyone is playing at a high level together, and we're starting to see what can come of that. And we're starting to see, oh, wow, this offense can be actually fantastic if they just execute like we've heard all year. We saw on tape, we could back it up that they weren't executing on tape, and that if they were just to execute, they're one block away, they're one lane away from massive, massive plays. And now we're starting to see that happen. Big change, adding Deebo in to see some of those explosive runs happen. So they're building at the right time. They are absolutely building at the right time, and we absolutely love to see it. So the offense overall, we didn't even talk about George Kittle. George Kittle is another reason why the offense is doing really good. Doing really good. Oh, really quickly, Jordan Elliott posted on Twitter today that Laken Tomlinson didn't allow a single pressure on 25 pass blocking snaps against the Jaguars. That's the fourth time this season that Tomlinson has allowed 0 pressures in a game. That's why the movement has started. I tweeted it, and I said, let it be known, the movement has officially started. Hashtag pay Laken Tomlinson. We're starting it. We are starting it, and we are going to go 100% at hashtag pay Laken Tomlinson. I understand that, you can find starting caliber guards 3rd, 4th, 5th round. That's my philosophy when it comes to drafting interior offensive linemen. Again, I love Banks. I think Banks has a lot of potential. We'll talk about Banks, and we'll get more into Banks later in the film, because we saw Banks for the first time this year. But again, I know for a fact that I could find you every year in, year out. I will find you multiple starting caliber offensive linemen in rounds 3 through 5. It happens like clockwork since I started doing this 10 years ago. The amount of starting caliber offensive linemen that I've identified and scouted over the past 10 years that I've went in rounds 3 through 5 is mind-numbing. It's mind-numbing, but that's the sweet spot, because people don't necessarily know how to evaluate and align the value of an offensive lineman. So I get it. We could potentially go into the 3rd, 4th, 5th round, draft another guard, potentially sign one in free agency, because Laken Tomlinson is an unrestricted free agent. But I want to pay. I want to pay this man. I want to pay Laken Tomlinson. And this is a big reason too. This is a big reason too, because I'll show you the video. I'll show you. I'll just pull it. I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up. But it's crystal clear. It is crystal clear that Trent Williams has been a huge impact on Laken Tomlinson. And the fact is that you can keep those two together and you can continue to build on that. You we could see more out of that. Again, this is only their second season together. They're still getting a feel. I mean, that was last year for the most part, getting the feel, right? But however, this year it feels like they're both growing and maturing together. So I just want to show this video. I love this video. So we're going to watch it really quickly. It's always fun to add some visual aid with whatever I'm talking about. So again, this video to me, this was Trent Williams. This was Trent Williams. If you want to watch the whole thing, this was Trent Williams mic'd up, courtesy of the 49ers. I went through it. So it's Trent Williams. It's all Trent Williams takes or mic'd up situation. And so it's not just Trent and Lincoln. It's just how Trent Williams moved through a game. And so what I did is I pulled all the Trent Williams and Laken Tomlinson clips and I edited it together because of when we talk about like what Josh is saying, man, that Laken and Trent relationship is beautiful. That I watched that whole thing and that was my instant takeaway. That was my instant takeaway was that, wow, these two guys' relationship is beautiful to watch. And here it is right here. Let me see. I mean, you might not be able to hear it. You can always go back and watch it on my channel. This is on my page. But this is Laken and Trent. Like Laken or Trent right here is just hyping him up constantly, hyping him up. Now watch the stare. Watch the stare from Laken, bro. This thing that when I first saw this and that punch that Laken gave Trent, Laken punched Trent, and I could tell Trent was like, "Oh damn, oh damn." But again, we talk about player performance all the time, right? Why does this guy with talent not perform to his ability? And what do we always come back to? We always come back to mentality. We always come back to the sports psychology. Like you hear Fred Warner. You hear Fred Warner talking about it. Like, oh man, it's just my mentality. I think I'm pressing too much. When you have a leader, that's why leaders are so important in football. That's why leaders are so important in a locker room, because what the sport is about is playing at your highest level. And we all know human element. We all know that we can be influenced and we can be motivated externally as well as internally. And so when you have an external leader who helps motivate, and we're seeing Laken Tomlinson, like his game is he's 29. He's no spring chicken. But he's getting better. And that's what you have to be able to compartmentalize and understand. All right, he shouldn't be getting better. He should be at his peak. He should be at about right where he should be. But one of the big reasons that I truly believe that we're seeing the best Laken Tomlinson that we have seen is because of leaders like Trent. Leaders like Trent. Again, I'll give all the credit in the world. Whatever. I played college football. It is what it is. I didn't play at D1 level or anything, nothing crazy. But again, I always pull from my own experiences. The reason why I was able to really, really get good was because I went against NFL caliber defensive tackle every single day in practice. And it was my goal to raise my level of play to match his. And that's how I got better. I got better because of that guy that I practice against every single day because he was exponentially better than I was. Exponentially better than I was. But it gave me a bar to aim for. And guess what? I met it and I exceeded it. And when you have guys like this that you play next to, especially on the offensive line, who can hype you up like this, again, Lakin looks like he's a different human. Look at those eyes. Like he is channeled a different type of mentality and perspective. And look at Trent pull it out of him. Just pull it out of him. So these two, I don't want to break up. I don't want to break this up. I don't want to break this up. Hashtag pay Lakin Tomlinson. Sorry. I had to go on a rant there. I want my boy Lakin around, all right? I do. You know, I would say at the beginning of the year, you know, full transparency. I didn't know, you know. Again, he's 29. If I put my GM cap on, I'm a bit of an ageist. So, and I've told you, I'm very confident that I can find starting caliber offensive linemen as rookies in the 3rd to 5th round. So, you know, that's kind of what my mindset was maybe last year or at the beginning of this year. I see it. I see the jump. I see it. And the numbers back it up. Again, this is the fourth time in 10 games that Lakin Tomlinson hasn't allowed a pressure. That's beautiful. So hashtag pay Lakin Tomlinson. I want to see it done. I want to keep those guys together. I really want to keep those guys together. I really, really do. So Trent is a huge leader, inspiration for this team. Yeah, I was told. Again, we all know the Jerry Rice, Steve Young, soundbite. You know, there's no dogs on this team. Trent Williams is a dog, man. He's a real dog. Exactly. He's a cornerstone. Trent Williams is a cornerstone piece. So now that we got the cornerstone piece, build around it. We only got a couple years of Trent, man. We only got a couple years of Trent and all that good stuff. Did this really happen? I really hope that didn't happen. I mean, I do know. I got into it with one of his boys, Jesse, because I think Jesse was like, you know, all respect to Jesse. I think Jesse's doing great work. Jesse Naylor, that is, not a shot at him. Just want to make that clear. But he put out like some tweet about how, see, this is why the 49ers shouldn't have signed or re-signed Trent Williams, and that was when he went down for one game. And I lost it. I was like, you said what about who? You said what about Trent? Like, do you know? Like, man, I guess I'm the wrong one to see that tweet. Like, you guys know, Trent's my guy. Like, Trent is my guy. Like, he's right there with one of my favorite players all time. Like, all time. Like, he's up there. He's getting there. So don't throw any Trent Williams slander my way, or else I'm not holding my mouth. I can't. I hold my tongue a lot. But you throw the Trent Williams slander. Ooh, nope, not gonna happen. Can Aaron Banks fill in for Lakin? I actually think that was I think that was the plan. I mean, both our guards are up. They're going to be free agents at the end of the year. It was going to be one of them. I actually think they kind of thought he could have potentially started over Brunskill, but quickly into camp, you realize that was not going to happen. Not at all. Not at all going to happen. So Nigel says Jimmy G got sacked once yesterday. Who got beat? I think it was one of the tackles. I think it was Jayla Moore. Get a better team. Okay. Thank you for that. Uh, only one sack is great. They won't win every time. Limiting it to one sack in a game is amazing. I agree. I agree. One sack a game for like an entire offensive line, that's huge. Ray says, I wish Trent caught that ball. Oh my gosh, dude. If Trent caught that ball, literally today, I think would have been victory Trent. We only probably would have talked about Trent Williams. We probably would have figured out like 400 different ways to edit that video. Um, Luke Luna says it depends on what he wants because we have needs everywhere. Moore has proven capable on the left. We do have needs everywhere. We do. We're going into next year with 33 players under contract. That's scary. That's scary. Trent is definitely at all times. Yeah, this is a no Trent slander zone, guys. This is a no. This is a no Trent slander zone. You know, it's no McGlinchey slander zone either. We've been like that all year. Yeah, I think we were. I think Coach and I actually saw this in real time. Now that I think about it on the live stream, I think we both said the same thing because you could see Brunskill actually like physically pointing out to the right, like loopers coming, loopers coming, loopers coming. And again, back to what we've talked about, the lack of communication and the lack of continuity. Tackle wasn't aware, couldn't pick it up, and they got the sack as a result. So that's part of it. You know, that's part of losing McGlinchey. There's so much that goes into playing offensive line. Communication being one of the most number one paramount things, which is why I talked about why they struggled so much with Brunskill at center in 2020 because he never played that position. And not only has he never played that position and the technique, but the center is responsible for seeing everything, seeing the defense, calling out the defense, calling out blitzes. It's a hard job. So to be thrown to be a center and you never done it before, it's not fun. Not fun. Do I see McGlinchey coming back next year, or is it career-ending injury? I saw the whole like, oh, the percentage chance of him coming back is like 50% based on other people who had gotten it or gotten that injury before. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm hoping he comes back from it though. I'm hoping he comes back from it. Hopefully it's not that big of an issue. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Um, oh yeah, everyone knows. Everyone's starting to pay attention. Everyone's starting to pay attention. Obviously, we've been seeing this from the jump of the year, but not again. Greatness too. It's not only what Trent is doing by himself, but that is pouring over to Laken Tomlinson, and that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. Ooh, ooh, this is a tough one. This is a tough one. You guys stumped the truck. You guys stumped me with food questions constantly. Um, you know what? I'm gonna have to go. It might be a little controversial. Might be a little controversial, but I have an explanation behind it. We'll talk about it. I'm gonna have to go waffles. And the reason why is because I really believe waffles are so dynamic in the sense that you can have it as breakfast, plain, right? Syrup, whatever, throw some fruit on it. Or the chicken and waffles is what sends me. The chicken and waffles is what sends me. So I love. I think I have to go waffles. I think I have to go waffles. Um, that's a hard one though, because you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong without with pancakes either. Has to be Kittle pancakes. Kittle pancakes. Facts. Yeah, for real. Trent Sherfield. Trent Sherfield. I wish Trent Sherfield could get a little bit more run. I really wish he could. Really, really wish he could. Luke says Deebo, Bosa, Tart, the Shark, Aziz, Greenlaw, free agency needs like corner. Trust me, I've been talking about Lakin worry for a while. You know I have the coach and I shed. Yep. So next year is going to be crazy. Yeah, we've been trying to get this going. Facts. Trent Williams, wide receiver 3, 100%. Yeah, it was a great play. Great play by Sherfield. Coach says, I'm encouraged by Jalen Moore, though. Just as a rookie, he's played both left tackle and right tackle, both in starting roles, not just filling in for a series. He's done well. An offseason will help. Oh, yeah. I'm not worried about Jalen at all. We knew he was going to struggle on the right side. We knew that. We knew coming in he was going to do that, and it's okay. And that's why we're all right. That's why we're all right. That's why with him, kind of going down, it's okay. It's okay. Ooh, third option, French toast. I made French toast for my kids this morning. French toast is underrated for sure. And waffles have the perfect spaces for syrup. Yep, the waffles with the chicken and cheese. All dude. Now I'm hungry, guys. Come on, man. Come on. You can't ask me food questions. This could dominate. This could dominate the live. I might just talk about food the rest of the day. Yeah, French toast is great. I'm assuming you're saying talking about Trent Williams, or are you talking about McGlinchey? Um, I don't know. I think there's a world where I don't know. I don't know what's going to go on with McGlinchey. Um, I really don't know. Crepes, very thin pancakes. Crepes hit, bro. Hey, you get the right crepe. Oh yeah, crepes hit. Oh, this is gonna turn into a food. This is gonna turn into the SF diners real quick. All right, let's transition. I think Reiko might save us. Kudu Fonga takes Tart place if his contract is up. So Jaquiski Tart is a free agent, and so this has been an interesting topic. I think it was became more interesting, especially last week when Kyle Shanahan talked to the media about how just because Jaquiski Tart was healthy didn't necessarily mean that he'd get his starting job back. But in fact, he did get his job back, and he actually played 40 defensive snaps to Talanoa Hufanga's 16 defensive snaps. So Jaquiski Tart did get his starting job back, and he did pretty darn well with it. I think what I really liked most, God, you guys are going to bring me back into the food conversation. I hate it. I'd rather talk about food right now than the 49ers. Oh goodness. But I think honestly, the whole Jaquiski Tart Talanoa Hufanga thing, I think Luke's been on it, and I share this kind of same sentiment as Luke. I really see Talanoa Hufanga as more of a box player. I see him as a guy that you want kind of around the line of scrimmage. He can cover in the short to intermediate parts of the field, whether it's zone or in man coverage. He has such great cerebral ability. Um, to be able to execute all different types of zones, that being Hufanga. Um, but what they did do, and I really, really liked it, is they had Jimmy Ward playing single high, and they brought Jaquiski Tart and Talanoa Hufanga on the field at the same time into the box. That to me was what I was hyped about. I really like seeing that. I really, really like seeing that. And hopefully we see more of that. But in regards to next year, it does really feel like this is Jaquiski Tart's last year. So we'll see. We'll see. Shout out Ponte for that stat as well. Um, Yes, sir. That's that's what we're talking about. That was Fuego, was it not? I want to see that more. That's what I want to see. Um, but it's going to be interesting now when Greenlaw comes back in the mix with Aziz Al Shair. Now they're going to have some pieces to play with. Now they're going to be able to rotate some things in and out on that defense and do a little bit more with that. So that's going to be really interesting to see. Really, really interesting to see. Damn it, you guys. I'm so hungry now. Oh. Oh. Okay, Spam Musubi is really good. It's really good. But I might have to go with the Kahlua pig, man. Smack. Oh, dude, I love Hawaiian food. Oh my god, this is my favorite. I think that was like one of my favorite things of playing football with like all Polynesians were the cookouts. Oh my gosh, my favorite thing. Having an offensive line full of Polynesians. Oh my gosh, best thing ever happened to me. Best thing to ever happen to me. Oh yeah. Oh, 100%. This is a safe haven for pineapple on pizza. Like we are firmly planted in pineapple belongs on pizza. I'm sorry if you don't agree, but you just have poor taste. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine if you don't like it. It's just your taste buds aren't up to speed. It's okay. Look at us, bro. I tried to get us out of the food conversation, but you guys are bringing me back. I tried to get out of it. You guys are bringing me back. Oh my goodness. Yep. We stand pineapple on pizza. It's okay. You don't have to be about it. You don't have to be about it. Yes, please. Someone DoorDash me L&L right now. Right now. Give me the chicken katsu. Actually, I want the mixed barbecue plate. Give me mixed barbecue plate. Give me the chicken katsu. Make sure you get me extra teriyaki sauce, please. Please, I'm so hungry. Oh, coach doesn't know? Oh, coach. Someone send spam musubi to coach right now. Someone do it. Look at us. What are we talking about? Talk about a We're just talking about food now. I love it. Yeah. Order me all the food. I'll take all the food. I will not turn away food. Yeah, we're all hungry now. We are all hungry now. Yeah, I'm starving. I could eat some Hawaiian barbecue right now. Oh, I love Hawaiian barbecue. So good. All right. Now I can only think of food and I don't like you guys because of it cuz now I'm just hungry. Let's talk about defense for a little bit. Let's try to talk about defense. I'll let you guys talk about food in the chat. I'll make comments, but I'm gonna try to talk about the defense. Um, so shout out my boy Leo Luna. He has these stats over the last 4 games to give you an idea of who's creating some production on the defensive side, specifically the offensive line or defensive line. Excuse me. So over the last 4 games, Nick Bosa has 19 pressures, 5 sacks. He probably has more sacks if he's not getting armbarred. Um, he's not getting armbarred. If Nick Bosa is not getting the hook from offensive linemen and getting held on every other play, I wouldn't be shocked to see that number around 7 or 8 sacks. So Nick Bosa has 19 pressures, 5 sacks over the last 4 games. Arden Key has been doing some work lately, guys. Arden Key deserves some credit for what he's been able to accomplish just in the last 4 games. Arden Key has 9 pressures and 3 sacks. We talked about his ability to rush the passer over the guard against the Rams, and I believe they implored him in the same exact way against the Jags, and I believe that's where he got his other sack. I'll confirm on tape, but I'm pretty sure they Both the sacks that Arden Key got the last 2 weeks have come in from rushing over the guard. Really like that. Eric Armstead has taken he started off really hot, but over the last 4 games, Eric Armstead has 8 pressures and only 1 sack. Samson Ebukam not far behind over the last 4 games with 7 pressures and 1 sack. So right now, it's pretty much been Nick Bosa on that defensive line. Bosa is having himself a quietly amazing year. He's the only player in the NFL right now that has 10 sacks and 15 tackles for a loss. He's entering a category where we're going to have to start talking about him as defensive player of the year. Now, it's probably going to take a couple more consistent games. Maybe the refs understanding, hey, that guy's getting held on almost every play, and we've talked at length about the type of holding he is getting, which is representative to offensive linemen getting beat. That's why they're holding that way. If you see a hook, this is from an offensive lineman's standpoint. If you ever see the hook, you see the hook, around the neck, that is because the offensive lineman has lost. They do not teach you to hook defenders unless you've been beat, because again, that's the whole point of the hook. They beat you with leverage, you hook them, and that keeps your body attached to them, and it keeps you having a fighting chance to be able to block. To me, that's a hold every single time. The hook should be banned. If you see the hook, you should throw the flag every single time. I don't know why it's so hard for these guys, but if you see, like, again, it's the hook, and so it's a dual. The whole technique in of itself. They throw the hook because they've lost their leverage and the defender's getting past them. But how they make it work is they take their hand and they put it in the back of their hip and they compress. So they bring the hook in, they compress with this hand, and it's just like they hold. It's a hold. Oh, guess shot. Whoa! They hold them there. It's a hold. It is a hold. So I don't. We'll keep making a big stink about it, but that's a hold. So we'll see. So we'll absolutely see. Oh, Luke Luna starting a podcast? It's Black Friday coming up. I'm going to pick up some equipment to start a pod, grab a mic and affordable camera to start. Don't have a desktop or a laptop, plus have to think about approach. Ooh, Luke, get started, my guy. Get started. We'll support you. We will support you. We will help your channel grow. We will do it all. Absolutely. We love to see that. Love to see that. Let's go. Would love to see Luke start his own thing, bro. Really quickly, you can do all different kinds of things. I'll give you a just quick little whatever. Absolutely, you could wait till Black Friday. You could start out with like one of these types of mics. I got this thing off Amazon, I think, for like $40. This is how I started. It was just like, when I started this whole YouTube thing, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So I did the same thing. I just bought this mic. It's not a bad mic. It's really not. But that costs like $40 or $50. You could probably find even, if you wanted to be a little bit more cost effective, probably find even a little bit more cost effective mics. I would say, the mic does matter. Don't want to come in sounding too crazy, right? Let's go. Let's go. Whole squad. Hey, whole squad. We support the growth of independent content creation. If you think the market's too saturated, it's not. If you feel like you have a unique voice and perspective to bring to the table, 100% dive in. Right now is the time. This is only going to keep the concept of independent content creation is only going to go up further. So yes, please, and I will help you guys any way you need. But yeah, mic, camera. Depending on your budget, you come out with a nice camera and a nice like. I got this little desktop camera things. I think my whole setup really all you need is obviously you need a computer too, but the mic and the camera is probably about 250, 300. Little investment. Little investment. Bro, whole sourdough squad linked up. Do it, bro. Do it. Do it. We're the sourdough squad. So we already got the squad name. We also got a I think a name a tagline for our crew. We're sourdough strong. The sourdough squad, and our tagline is sourdough strong. Let's go. Let's go. Make sure you have good Wi-Fi as well. Yeah, bro. The sourdough squad, hell yeah, let's go. Yes. Yes. And that's part of the beauty of the sourdough squad. That is part of the beauty of the sourdough squad is that we are intentionally not toxic. We are intentionally advocates. Now we'll talk about what we don't like and what we like, but the point is not to be actually toxic. Like we are trying to avoid that. And so if sourdough squad members grow to do their own podcasts, hell yeah, bro. We'll change the narrative real quick. We'll change the narrative real quick. Let's go. Always, Luke. Always. I appreciate you, man. So if you want to grow and kind of branch out and do your own channel, I'll show you. I'll tell you everything. But I will say I don't do that. I don't tell people the recipe. I don't, unless I believe in you. Unless I see the path, I don't tell. I don't spill the secret sauce. But Luke, you've been a day one. Coach, you've been day one. And I know you guys well enough at this point that I'm absolutely gonna for sure help you guys. 100%. Yes, sir. We stay positive. Let's go. Exactly. And then we can all link up. And we can all vibe. Oh, bro, we're taking over. Start those pages, bro. Start. And we'll talk offline and I'll tell you how to do it and I'll tell you how to set up everything so everything works together. But we'll do it. Ooh, I like this. Let's go. Let's go, Bread Gang. Okay, I love that. Like East, we rise. Oh, snap. That might have to be another shirt. Like East, we rise. Oh, I'm writing that down. Oh, like East, we rise. 100%. 100%. And you know the vibes. You know the vibes. We got each other's back. Let's go. Let's go. Yes, sir. Sourdough Squad Empire. It's coming. It's coming. Let's go. Love to see it. Love to see it. Oh, good luck. I may or may not respond. Ask Coach. It's tough. It's tough. But if I see it at the right time, again, and my ADHD is perfectly aligned with a response, it's great. But one of the reasons why I have such a hard time responding is the way it triggers my ADHD. Like all the comments, sometimes I'm just like, oh, it's so overwhelming. So sometimes I'm just like that. My DMs are insane, but I will look and I will try. But like yeast, we rise. Let's go. Hey, the squad is leveling up. The squad is leveling up. You love to see it. Look, ask Coach. Ask Coach. Coach knows, bro. Coach knows how hard it is. You can ask Aponte. You could ask Jordan. Man, I would hate to have to communicate with me sometimes. So just fair warning. Fair warning. Fair warning. Exactly. This is me trying to respond to all the millions of messages I have. It's ADHD nightmare fuel. um no, hit me on the DM. If you tell me right now that you're DMing me, I will I will make a note to go and hunt it down and just tell me it's just tell me it's Luke from YouTube. So yeah, hit me up. We might have to ragdoll Jason Ponte as an initiation. So good. Oh my goodness. So good. So fun. Man, Victory Mondays are fun, relaxing, just a vibe. Just a vibe. I love seeing the Sourdough Squad is getting into the content creation action. I 100% implore you, like if that's where you feel like you have a calling, if you feel like you have, again, the only reason why I do this, I'll tell you, since we're kind of we're spawning off. Okay, break. Well, it is what it is. We've talked about the game enough yesterday. Um, I'll talk to you a little bit about my journey and how I got started. Um, Obviously, when I got done playing football, I had this huge void in front of me of like, what the hell do I do? I was going to go down the coaching route, but at the same time, I need to make money. And when you get started into coaching, like you ask any coach, even the coach, and I even talked about this because I know coach coached clearly. Um, it's hard to get into, and you have to have the right setup. You kind of got to be young, and you kind of have to be able to just go wherever it takes you. You have to be fluid if you want to be a part of the football world through coaching. It's very hostile in the way it fluctuates and changes. um, so I had gotten a job as an offensive coordinator, but then I realized, like, I'm not getting paid, and it takes up so much time, and I had to pivot. And so I found myself on Bleacher Report articles, realizing, like, you know, I'm big into the draft, and realizing really quickly that I knew how to evaluate football talent better than the people who were getting paid at the time to write for Bleacher Report. Um, so I got started in the comments, just like, a lot of us are talking, you know, in the chat. That was the start of it. So started this journey in Bleacher Report comments. Um, Took me a long time to really figure out, like, how to get in, or like where to start. Like, it really took me probably, I would say that was around 2011. It took me until 2017 until I figured out, like, how to manipulate, like, use the social media game, use, the podcast platform. Like, it took me a while to figure it out, but obviously I figured it out. I created the SF Niners because I wanted a brand. I'm not, you know, the lives and all of it, it's part of what we do. It's not everything of what we do. It's just a part of it. Like, these lives and these discussions, it's just a part of what this brand does. I wanted something that could do a lot of different things. I wanted to create video. I wanted to be able to shoot video, uh, bring on writers for our website. Like, I'm still just scratching the surface of what this is going to be. But literally, if you once that clicks of how to do that stuff, um, you can do it. You can develop anything you want. It doesn't have to be about football. It could be about anything that you have an interest for and a passion for. If you wanted to have your opinions known, heard, seen, read, there's a path. There's absolutely a path. What I do here is scalable into any industry. Any industry, everything that I do, the back end philosophies, the back end structures and build outs of everything that I've developed, is all scalable to any industry, to any topic. Essentially, obviously, there's going to be small adjustments here or there, but you can do this. Like if you really wanted to, it takes time, takes effort, takes a lot of what's the word I want to use? Takes a lot of buy-in. I mean, you just got to be bought in. You got to grind. So if you have all those things and the knowledge to back it up, it's fine. It'll work out. Just got to grind and just got to use the platforms that are available to you. So that's one of the coolest things. That's one of the coolest things. Any of you guys could do this. Any of you guys could do this. We could be linking lives. We could do all kinds of stuff. Do all kinds of stuff. So would love to see you guys jump in on that. Would love to see you guys jump in on that. Absolutely. You make no money coaching. It's very hard. It's a huge sacrifice to your life and your loved ones. It's a monumental strain on your mental health. Right. How stressful does it be to like have a great philosophy and a great coaching style, but hey, this particular round you just got crappy players that don't know how to do anything or be a part of it or whatever. Like, but you're judged based on their performance. If you don't get good players, you're kind of screwed. So it's a stressful job. It's hard. It's a hard job. Let's go, Luke. I will look when I'm done. I got you, my guy. I will got you. Oh yeah. Let's go. Just like Nip said. Let's go. So we kind of went off on a tangent. Started with the food. Whatever. We go where the chat takes us. We go where the chat takes us. It's Victory Monday. Victory Monday's a vibe. We're having a blast. Brittany Brown wants to know, anyone going to the Titans game 23rd of December? She's going. We see you, Brittany. Haven't seen you around in a little bit. Good to see you. Brittany's going to that Thursday night football game. That game's going to have a lot of implications. That's going to be a good game. So Brittany's going to have to hold it down for all of us. That's the day before Christmas Eve. I really wanted to go to that game, but based on the holiday, can't do it. Can't do it. He is a amateur. Yes, Squirrel Monday. Facts. Oh yeah, we've been talking about this. I was kind of eyeing the Texans game. I know it's kind of ugly game. I don't know. I was kind of eyeing the Texans game. Not really sure. We might have to do something though. Yes, sir. Brittany's got to be the sourdough squad ambassador for that game. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean their whole scheme was based off of Derrick Henry and Derrick Henry being a stud. So unfortunately, their offense has struggled quite a bit without Derrick Henry, and which is to be expected. You know, it's to be expected. So we'll see. I haven't decided if I want to go to the Vikings game or not. The hard thing about going to games is that the content suffers. So that's the dilemma you get. Hey, you guys want to go do content? That's one of the hardest parts is that going to the game, I get different type of content. I get the in-stadium content, which I can do a lot with and do plenty of. It's different. You know, I don't get to watch the game like I want to watch the game. I have to go back home and rewatch it and pull clips and highlights. So it's just a little different. I'm still learning the flow of in-game content and things like that. So I'm still deciding if I should go to the Vikings game or not. Brittany says, Brad, you have to promise to have us all link up at a game next season. We will be the content. Let's ride the vibe. Yeah, if we can't get it, I don't know, we'll see if we can get it together this year. It might not happen this year, but absolutely. Oh my gosh, we're at for sure. Like we got to set it up like months in advance, and really figure it out and really get it coordinated because we want it to be lit. So yeah, I agree, and obviously a whole nother year in the books with the millions of sourdough squad members that will be joining us, and then we'll have our elite group as well. Hell yeah, yeah. If we can't figure it out, this year, we're for sure doing this next year, 100%. Coach says, Brad, what are your thoughts about the Vikings coming up? It's a weird game in my opinion. They're 30th against the run, yet they're a heavy blitz team with Zimmer's A gap pressure. Yeah, we're typically a team that is going. We're now going to be a team that struggles against the blitz, big time. We're going to struggle against the blitz. We're going to struggle because of partly due to that right side being able to pick up the stunts and all those things. I mean, if I'm Zimmer, I'm attacking the right side. That's it. Like I'm throwing everything at the right, everything to mix them up as much as possible. So the way you can mitigate that, right? Short passing game, quick hitters, which we are capable of. So I think we can make it work. I get it. If they're going to clog the gaps, we've been executing, especially the A gaps. The Zorro concept that we're executing at an amazing clip which is setting up, it's basically the double to backer concepts. Oh, they at the podium right now? Sorry, squirrel. Squirrel. I'm getting Shanahan quotes. So what just came out? We have some injury stuff dropping right now. Laken Tomlinson came away with the ankle. It's going to be limited this week. Running back Elijah Mitchell, fingers day to day. Cornerback Devontae Harris, hoping to practice. So some stuff coming out right now. I don't think they're doing a press conference, but that's some of the injury stuff to come out just now. So we'll see what else comes out. But there's some injury stuff. Brittany says 34-17 49ers over the Vikings. Hell, if they keep playing like that, 100%. 100%. And guess what? Who's going to get Justin Jefferson? That's probably going to be our boy. It's probably going to be our boy Josh Norman. So we're going to have to see how that works. Whew. Sheesh. Cousins is a wet napkin when pockets collapse. This is facts. This is facts. Oh, that's not a bad merch idea. A shirt with a squirrel holding some sourdough bread. Talk about bread, gang. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, this is a key, similar to like Jared Goff, or hell, even what we saw with Matthew Stafford. Some of these quarterbacks, man, when you move them off their spot, they don't like it, and they really don't. They really don't like it. So I think Kirk Cousins is 100% one of those guys. If Kirk Cousins has a clean pocket and he's got time, he has the talent to make you pay. He's got the receivers on the outside to make you pay. However, when you collapse the pocket on him, It doesn't matter whether from the edges or from the interior. He has a hard time. He's going to keep one eye. We want him keeping one eye on Nick Bosa, and if we have him like split-eyed, and he's having to account for defensive pressure, then that's going to give us, I think, our best chance to win. Because again, if we give him time to throw, I think Thielen and Mosley are a good matchup. But can you imagine Josh Norman on? Oh, I don't want to imagine it. I really don't. Norman will commit a PI in Jefferson, probably. Coach says, do we travel corners? Typically, no. Typically, we have left cornerback and right cornerback, and they stay on their sides. But coach is saying E-Man needs to travel with Jefferson all game. Doesn't want Norman within 10 feet of him. No, we don't. But I don't know. I think that's what we're going to get. So we'll see. Shanahan keeps talking about this is a quote that just came out. Shanahan said the plan going in was to rotate Jalen Moore and Tom Compton at right tackle. Compton ended up playing the entire second half at right tackle. Quote, we're trying to play both of them until we see a bigger difference. Interesting. So that was shout out Niners Nation for that quote. So interesting situation. I'm excited. I haven't watched the tape yet. I'm going to do that tonight. I want to watch the difference between those two. I don't. Again, Shanahan's going to do what Shanahan's going to do. I don't necessarily buy the, that was our plan to play two tackles. I don't think it's ever your plan to want to play two tackles. I really don't think that's ever a plan. It wouldn't be my plan. I'll just say that. But Kyle knows better than I do. Of course. TOP is better than Jefferson equals top 3 rush. It's better than bot 3 rush D. You might have to transcribe that one for me, Brittany. You might have to transcribe that one for me, or at least break the abbreviations out. I'll gladly come back around. I'd say Josh Norman would need to social distance from Jefferson, but even if he does cover Justin, he'll make more than 6 feet. Sheesh. What's up, Brad? I think you might be lost, my guy. But you're welcome to hang out if you want. You're welcome to chill. Go for it. Oh, yeah, we are. We're going to see. Apparently, the 49ers reached out to Cam Dantzler potentially to get a trade. So, earlier in the year. So, you never know. Could happen. So, we'll see. Yeah, shout out to Brad. Love the name, but might be in the wrong chat, my guy. But you can chill if you want. You chill if you want. It's fine. Good stuff. All right. You guys are funny. All right, so what we'll do tomorrow, we'll do Trench Tuesday. I'm going to be breaking down the offensive film tonight. So I'll come back. Obviously, we're going to be looking at Jalen Moore. We're going to be looking at Tom Compton. Of course, going to be basically drooling over the play of Trent Williams. We'll break down the catch, why the catch didn't happen, break down Trent, Lake and Tomlinson, Alex Mack, Brunskill, and of course, when those plays occur, good or bad, we know the skill players are balling too, so we'll break down what they do. So that's what we should be doing. We'll be looking for tomorrow. We're going to be doing more film related stuff. Brittany said, "Oh, got it. Time of possession. Time of possession will keep Jefferson off the field. Bosa and Arden will be the key to the game. 49ers are currently operating like a top rushing attack going up against a bottom rush D. I agree. I think time of possession is going to be huge. I think that should just be a model that they try to aim and win for all the time. I think that's what they should do. I really think that owning the clock benefits this team in a lot of different ways. Again, we talk about playing complementary football all the time. We understand that we are operating with some injuries on the defensive side. So if we can, manage the time of possession to limit the type of opportunities that other offenses have. Again, if we hold the ball for a long time, there's a sense of urgency that might not align with the game plan from an opposing team's offense if we're not giving them a lot of time. So I agree 100%. Time of possession, we want to keep that offense on the side of the field. Again, they got Dalvin Cook too. They got Thielen. They have Jefferson, obviously, and Kirk Cousins. If you give him time, he'll eat you up. So I agree. And I like the Arden will be the key to the game. I like that. And I agree. We need our pass rush to do a lot. It all starts up front, always does. But I think particularly more so than ever, it means a lot in this game for both sides. Both sides. Offense starts with the trenches, and clearly defense, it starts with the trenches. The way we generate pressure and the way we keep pressure off Jimmy Garoppolo, those are going to be the things that lead to success for this team. So hopefully that's what we get. We'll see though. We'll see. Gonna be a good one though. Gonna be a good one. This is a playoff team right now that the 49ers are facing off against. So we'll see. Brittany says, is it crazy the similarities that Harb's Roman rush heavy offense that keeps our D fresh with Kyle Shanahan, Mike McDaniel's philosophy? I don't think it's crazy because I think that mentality is a bit of an old school approach, if that makes sense. Like the old style, or like when I considered old school, is that I think that is the mentality. The old, punch you in the mouth. We're gonna line up and we'll tell you what we're gonna run, but you got to stop us. I think both Harbaughs brought that. Obviously when Jim and Greg were together, they kind of had that similar mentality. Kyle Shanahan, Mike Shanahan, again, they're throwbacks. Those guys are throwbacks. Even Kyle, even though he's of the new age, he's a combo. He's new age, but built off the foundation of a throwback. So it's like this mix. So I think it's a great philosophy. I mean, I do. Again, it's the definition of complementary football. Having a rush heavy offense and a defense that plays really, really well in spurts. Because we understand you keep your defense on the field for a long time. There's going to be leaks. There's going to be cracks. You can't play perfect for every snap, and all it takes is one miscue, and that's a touchdown. So I think it makes a lot of sense to limit opportunities and give yourself more opportunities. It's a dual-edged sword that fits. I think it's a philosophy that is tried and true, and it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense, and I really think That's what they should keep doing it. Again, look at what we've seen. Look at what we've seen the last 2 weeks when they go back to that style. So I hope it continues to come. I hope that's what we see. I hope we continue to see the same back and forth complementary football, again running the ball, churning out first downs, chunk yardage, setting up third and manageables, and then completing them. Because on the flip side, when you complete third downs, that's demoralizing to a defense. Again, it's energy based. They're if they feel like they got a shot to stop you on a third down and they don't, and then they didn't get that stop, but then you get 3 more first downs after that. That's exhausting for a defense, mentally, physically, all of it, all of it. So I think I love it. I like it. I want to see more of it. That's what we've been yelling and screaming about on this channel. Is run the dang football and play complementary football. That's all we've been saying. Coach knows. Coach knows. So it is what it is, and we'll see. But great, thank you for the contributions, Brittany. Really appreciate that. Great commentary as always. I haven't seen you around here in a while. Have not seen you around in a while. Good to see you. 100%. Brittany says, but Kyle isn't considered old school. Rather, the rest of the league is trying to adopt it as if it's new school. What did Coach say? Coach said, Kyle is a new age approach, but the philosophies of what he does is very much old school. Facts. Even his coaching style with the players, that's I think the most apparent old school thing that he does. his coaching style. He's huge on practice habits and veteran leadership. I agree. Coach is 100%. Coach is 100%. It's essentially everything Kyle is it's old. It's like if you took Kyle's like if you took like a 1970 I don't know, Chevrolet, what do we want to call it? Like just like a 1970 Shelby Mustang. I don't know, like a throwback muscle car, right? They're super sick. They got power. They've got lineage and those types of things. But it's like if you took that and you souped it up and you modernized it. You completely gutted the interior and you made it modern. Brought in new leather seats and a new dash and all that kind of stuff. It's still the bones of an old school philosophy, but it might have some modern day twists to it. So that's how I would visualize it in my head. He's like an old school muscle car that got updated. He's got an LCD dash and crazy sound system and all the amenities on the inside, but the bones and the structure and the chassis and the engine, it's still old school. It's still that throwback. So Kyle's like a modernized muscle car. There's a comparison I didn't have on my 2021 bingo card. But so we'll see. We'll see what that modernized muscle car will do the rest of the year. But like I said, excited to come back tomorrow with more film examples. We'll again talk more specifically about a lot of the stuff that we talked today with the examples, showing the film, looking at the reasons why things occurred and why they didn't occur. But obviously, we are going to have a lot more to look at, a lot of fun stuff to look at, and I'm excited about it. So keep an eye on that tomorrow, typically around the same time, 1:30 to 2 o'clock window. We'll be doing the film session. So hopefully you guys will join me for that. Squirrel, not forgetting the DM. Hopefully I do not forget the second I get off this live. If I do, please forgive me. I suffer from an ADHD brain. But hopefully I don't. I'm I'm going to open it up right now so I don't forget, because I would like to say that I wouldn't, but that is not I cannot trust myself enough to see. There he is. Yep, I got you, my guy. Accepting. Let's go. As I'm typing, my boy. Let's go. All right, I got it. Now I just got to remember to check back. Dude, you don't want to look at my DMs. It's sad. It's sad. It's so bad. It's so bad. Should I show you? I don't know if I want to. It's really bad. God, I haven't even looked how bad it is. Jeez, it's bad. Oh my goodness, there's so many messages I have not read. Oh my gosh. My ADHD is spiking right now just looking at it. Oh, but I got you. There you are. Let's go. I got you at the top. Let's go. All right. I got you, Luke, though. Hit me up, my guy. Hit me up, whatever you need. I'm going to try to get back to Coach. I bet Coach has a DM I haven't opened. I'm going to look it up right now. Let me find out. Yep, of course. Sorry, Coach. I love you guys. Again, the Sourdough Squad is undefeated. Always have a blast with you guys. This is just a start for us. Again, if we're gonna have Sourdough Squad members, sorry, Coach. If we're gonna have Sourdough Squad members branch out, create their own podcasts and their own platforms, we support that 100%. We want to see it. I want to see your guys' growth. So if we can continue to spread good vibes and spread good information about the 49ers, that's it, right? That's the goal. Talk about the team that we love, keep good vibes, keep good energy, and we exist that way. So if any of you guys have any questions, again, I say DM me. It's not a guaranteed response, but the effort that counts. It counts. I'll try my best. So, like I said, we'll be back tomorrow, 1:30 window. Film, be there, be square. I'll see you guys tomorrow. You guys have a phenomenal rest of your Victory Monday. It's been a good one. We got 2 game winning streak on our hands. Let's make it 3. We'll see you guys tomorrow for more. Shout out everyone who sent me the super chats. You guys definitely understand. Those contributions are 100%. I appreciate them very much. Every time you guys do it, you're supporting the small business that is the Sourdough Squad. So we appreciate you guys. We see all the sourdoughs. Let's go, bread gang. What was it? Like yeast, we rise. Oh, that's a great one. That might be a shirt too. There it is. Like yeast, we rise. Sourdough Squad. Appreciate you guys. Till next time.